You're wondering why there's music in the background. It's because I'm happy. I'm really happy. The reason I'm really happy is because I'm here to interview the new author of, what did you call that again?
My memoirs.
Yes, and what did you call that?
Daughters of the Shadow Man.
Wait a minute, I the wrong end of this brush. Oh, the Shadow Man, yes. Well, now that you have the ability to get out of your, what did you have before that you couldn't get out of, that you can now get out of? It's something that you told me earlier that you couldn't get out of, but now you're out of, and now you can do something that you said that you can do.
I'm not sure I know what you're talking about.
Well, see, now that you're an author and you have a published book, you're going to have to get in front of people who are going to ask you such questions such as that. So you're going to have to come up with some kind of an innocuous answer to an innocuous question. So let me rephrase the question. You ready? So how does it feel to be...
You already used a word that I don't like. Innocuous. That discouraged and depressed me right away. I said, what do you mean? All my whole life I've been pressured to be innocuous.
I didn't say
You're
obnoxious.
telling me.
I said innocuous.
Innocuous is what you said, and I've been pressured my whole life to be innocuous. So I don't like that word, because that's the last thing I want to do is be innocuous.
Okay, well let me ask you another question now.
And these memoirs, they're not going to be innocuous. No. Because in it, I'm going to talk about the forbidden, the secret. Not ever supposed to talk about it.
Well, frankly, you know what frankly is, don't you? That's the guy who was down the hall, frankly. This is only going to be on my...
Yes.
Well, actually, it's under my pseudonym called... What's my pseudonym called? I haven't seen this thing in such a long time. I forget what the name of it is. But anyway, it'll be under that. And we are looking forward to more of your finally being able to get a decent computer and be able to do things that you've never been able to do before. And you know what? I think your public, I think your fans, I think the people around you, I even want to see it. I want to not only see it, I want to read it.
I don't have any fans yet.
Well,
I'm
you've got-
hoping to receive some.
Wait a second. Wait a second.
But if I don't get any,
You know how much
fine.
money
I
I'm
won't be
investing in you?
surprised. I won't be surprised if I don't get any fans. I'm 78 years old. I've never had any fans, so I don't, I can live without getting any. Because I found out if you're a certain kind of person, you just don't.
Don't what? I'm trying to copy everything down here, for heaven's sakes. You just don't what?
You just don't strive for popularity anymore. You're not going to get it. There's some people are not destined to be popular. They're not destined to sell a lot of books, and they're not destined to be world famous writers. I'd be very surprised if I ever became a writer of...
Well, what happens if
No.
you are? Gonna drop dead?
No. I'll just be doing what I usually do, surviving, living. And I'll have written a book that we might pay to publish it. You know, what used to be called the vanity press. But
What's wrong
now,
with
well, there's nothing wrong with it. It's not to me, it's not vanity anymore. It's just practical. If you want to get a book published, more than likely, nobody's going to publish it nowadays. We used to have these illusions that, you know, if you wrote something, people would publish it. Well, after you get older, you realize the facts of life. That
Don't talk too fast because I can't get
you've
through.
got to have a built-in audience. Got to have a built-in audience in order to be that kind of a writer. You got to know people. You've got to have, you know, there's got to be some reason for a publisher to publish your book. And most of the time, most people don't have those reasons. They don't have any reason whatsoever for a publisher to think that they could make money. And more likely they wouldn't. I mean, they're not going to publish a book that's just going to sit there that nobody's going to buy.
Look, have you ever watched Charley Rose on television?
Yes, a lot of times. It has
Yeah.
nothing to do with me.
Well, the problem is that Charlie is a nice guy, but when he gets people like you who don't know when to stop, he just really interrupts them and says, well, why did you say that and what do you mean? See? Charlie
Are
has
you
been
trying to
around
imply that you're remotely close to being like Charley Rose?
No,
He's a world famous
I'm implying.
person. He's probably the most famous interviewer of
I am
authors
implying.
on the planet. He's one of a kind. And you and I, we don't even aspire to be hardly in the same world as Charley Rose, for God's sake.
That when Charlie interrupts somebody, the guy stops, but not you.
Hey, Charley Rose has nothing to do with us. I doubt if Charley Rose is even human. I think they may have made him up. He's on the computer or something.
Yes.
I mean, he's not human like you and I.
He admitted on television.
Understand
He said,
humanity.
I've been a holograph for
Look
years.
at him. Does he look like Charley Rose? For heaven's sake, he looks like a grizzled old wreck. And look at me. Do I look like some of the authors that he is interviewing?
Yes, you do. You really do. I watched Charlie. Wait a minute. Let's get back to you.
So you watch Charley Rose. A lot of people watch him. That's why he's famous.
All right.
It's nothing to watch. We're all a bunch of watchers, you know. We're the watchers, you and I. We belong to the watchers. We don't belong to the ones that get behind the counter and do it.
Don't make me hit you with this. Oh,
Just remember who you are.
You have ruined this whole. You have ruined this whole thing,
Oh,
folks. I'll tell you one thing.
oh, that